Hey guys, RC Reviews here. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video where we'll meet here once again at the RC Roundtable, and I'll give you my final thoughts and opinions on the Blade 230S Smart. Enjoy the flight video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, the transmitter is sounding an alarm because I've been idle. I just wanted you guys to see that. These are the LEDs we talked about, full battery right now. But as you can see, the transmitter is letting us know, hey, you're sitting idle for too long, what's going on? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take off. Hold mode is off. We're flying in high rates, and we're flying in safe mode. So we're gonna go ahead and take it off. All right guys, one thing I wanted to talk about. I've been getting some comments on my channel about what are high rates and what are low rates. And I figured I would address that right now while I'm flying, because I think you guys will get a better idea of it and be able to see it in action as I fly. We'll go ahead and bring it down here nice and slow because the wind is picking up. There is a little wind out here today. Okay. Right now, we're in low rates. And low rates basically means a lower rate. It doesn't change the flight mode you're in. It just changes the rate within that flight mode, if that makes sense. So right now, for example, we're flying in safe. Currently, I have it in low rates now so that you guys can get an idea of what low rates looks like in action. So here's the tail in low rates. Okay. And then we'll switch it to high rates. See how much faster that tail is. Bring it back a little bit closer to us. This is a high rate tail. This is a low rate tail. See, the tail is slower in low rates. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, what low rates and high rates are, like I said before, it's just the rate in the flight mode in which you're flying in. And low rates make the helicopter less responsive and easier to control, and high rates make the helicopter more responsive and a little more difficult to control. Basically, high rates makes it a little more sensitive. You get full range when you give it stick input, 100% maximum range in high rate. And in low rate, you get a lower range of motion when you give us the same stick input, if that makes sense. High rates are what's known as dual rates, same thing. Is usually located on your radio. It's usually a 2-position switch to switch between high and low. As you guys may know, I do have the ready to fly version. So when we talk about it at the table, guys, I'll show you exactly what I mean as far as the different switch positions. and where it's located on the radio. But I'll bring the heli up close so you guys can check this out. Okay, currently we're in low rates. I'll turn it around this way. All right, we got a little gust of wind coming through. So let me hold it steady for just a second. Okay, I'm gonna give it left and right, left and right stick. So that's in low rates. We're gonna go into high rates now. Left and right. You see we have a much quicker bank when we go left and right. More responsive, in other words, in high rates. Same thing with the tail. We have a faster tail in high rates. See, it's more responsive. We're getting 100% throw or movement. That's why we had that steeper bank angle right there when we give it aileron left and right. Now when we go into low rates, this is low rates, I'm giving it the same stick movement left and right, but you see it's a little less responsive and a little less dramatic because we're in low rates now. And we don't have that full movement. See how, notice how it's not banking as hard like it was in high rates? And the tail's slower. Anyway guys, I just wanted to get that out of the way because we did have a few questions about that. And hopefully that didn't confuse you. Remember, low rates makes the helicopter less responsive. High rates makes it more responsive. High rates, you have full throw in the swash, in the servos. And low rates, you have limited throw and movement in the swash when you give stick input, when you give the same stick input. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Right now we are in low rates, so we'll fly it in low rates just to give you guys an idea of the difference. Nice and smooth and steady. All right guys, now we'll kick it up a notch. We'll go back into high rates. Same stick movement. We'll do a few circuits and see if you can tell the difference. As you can see, when given the same stick inputs, the heli is a lot more responsive. We're able to bank farther because we have full range of motion in that servo and high rates. Try to keep it down low, guys, so you guys can get an idea of what we're doing here and you can see the flight better. I'll do circuits, but I'll keep it low. Still in high rates. All right, guys, that's our LVC warning. We're gonna go ahead and bring it in for a landing. There we are, we landed it safely. And as you guys can see, that's full battery. Now that's the first time I've ever let that happen, but it worked out fine. It warned us, I would say, with a good 5-second warning. So we were able to land it safely without a crash. And you guys were able to see the LVC warning that's built into this new radio. So that was pretty cool. Anyways, guys, let's go inside and talk about it at the table, and I'll give you my final thoughts and opinion. All right, see you there. And we're back here at the RC Roundtable, and I'm going to give you my final opinions and thoughts on the Blade 230S Smart. This is a scale flight review. I don't fly 3D, so I won't be able to review that part of the helicopter. But I've had a little over 20 something flights. I can't remember the exact number, but I know it's been over 20 at least. I've owned the heli for almost a month now. So I think it's time to go ahead and give my final 2 cents. All right, with that being said, if you watch the flight video, a couple of things happened in that video. One that surprised me was that we actually flew it until the LVC warning here on the radio went off. Now that is the first time that's ever happened. I've tried to avoid flying it to that point, but I'm kind of glad it happened in that video, so you guys got a chance to see it in action. It did warn us. It gave us, I want to say, maybe a 5 to 7 second warning before it started coming down. So yeah, that kind of freaked me out when that went off. I wasn't expecting that. But then again, I wasn't really keeping track of how long we had been flying. Now I got kind of sidetracked with another topic that I wanted to talk about during the flight. But so maybe that's why, you know, we kind of lost track of time. Anyway, back to the review. First thing I want to say, guys, like I said in my other videos, I just love the way this canopy looks. The bright orange and the blue really pops. The orange on the heli itself here makes it real easy and visible when you're flying for orientation purposes. It looks to be built pretty sturdy. I mean, we do have a lot of plastic parts here. We got a plastic frame and skids, but it does seem to be durable. Everything's tucked away nice and neat in its spot. Right out of the box, it flew great. I didn't have any issues. No vibration, no bad characteristics to speak of. We'll go ahead and take the battery off here just to give you guys another glimpse of that. This is the G2 battery. It's a smart battery, 30C3S 850 milliamp G2. Now with this battery, guys, the radio is able to give you the battery telemetry via these LED lights here. Now, as you saw in the flight video, when the lights are full green, that means we have a full charge, which is also another good thing that we hit LVC in that flight, because now you guys can actually see how much flight time we actually get on a battery. Now keep in mind, we were flying scale. We weren't doing any 3D, so I'm pretty sure if you were to do some hardcore 3D, the battery wouldn't last that long because the motor would be under much more strain in that situation. So keep in mind, we did fly scale, but we did get a pretty long flight time flying scale, which was pretty impressive. Now, one thing I do want to say, this is the ready to fly version. As you guys know, this is the Spectrum DXS. I've never owned this radio before. Seems to be a good, solid radio. We do have the push button instead of the one that slides up and down. Our flight modes are here. And you got safe, intermediate, and advanced. I fly here in safe. And this is the high and low rates here, guys. And I want to be sure that, because somebody asked me about this a while back, about what position the switch should be in. But this is the correct position for high rates. And that down is low rates. Okay? Just so we're clear on that. And then you have your hold switch here. This is probably one of the most important switches when it comes to safety. You always want to have that activated when you're down on the ground before you take off, so that the blades don't kick up unexpectedly and you get, injured or damage the helicopter. Anyway, with that being said, the radio works great, has great range, feels good in the hands. I have no issue with the radio. It's great. The heli itself, the way it flies, I have no complaints so far. Again, we have just flown it in safe mode and high and low rates, scale flight, and haven't had any issues. Flies real smooth. No issues with the motors. Everything's working great. Everything's in sync. No vibration on takeoff or landing. I really enjoy the helicopter, guys. It's another home run for Blade. I'm really liking it. I'm satisfied with my purchase. It's an all-around good heli. Not sure if I would recommend it to beginners. I would start off with something smaller, like the 120S2 or the 70S, whenever that becomes available again. It's like finding gold right now, but whenever that one is available again, I would suggest using something small like that. It does suggest, even here on the box, that you need a skill level 2. So it says some experience required. So I agree with that. I think you need some experience because you do have brushless motors here, and this is a larger size heli. So you want to make sure you're aware of all the controls and how to fly it and all the different orientations. So that's all important to know, and of course your safety when it comes to flying this helicopter. With that being said, guys, I'm happy with it. It gets 2 thumbs up from me. The Blade 230S Smart. Go out and get you one. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like what we do here on the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. This is RC Reviews signing out, and we'll see you guys later.